in this paper, we will read some poetry, drama, novel written by Indian people in English language. Right? That's why it is termed as Indian English literature. So, and the novel we have in our syllabus, they were written before, in last century, in 19th century, in 18th century. So, now think about that time when these texts were written by these people. Number one is what kind of problem they faced, or in which circumstances they wrote their novel, poetry, drama in English language. During that time, even women didn't have any right to education, and even nobody even can expected that women would be allowed to get education or equal rights or equality, liberty, was just part of dream that time. But these people whose literary text we have in our syllabus, they dared to write in the language of foreigners or the people who were ruling them. That time India was ruled by Britishers, and that time native Indians, Indian people, they hated Britishers. They were struggling to get its independence from the clutches of Britishers or India East Company. So before going to start this paper, we must know the past of India. We must know history. We have to go back to the time before we can say pre-independence era. We should go to the pre-independence era when Britishers ruled India. How they tortured Indian people, and how Indians were struggling to get its independence from Britishers. So at that time, in that situation, if we talk about the social plight of Indians, so we can say socially people did not like English language or Britishers, their way of behaving with the Indians. So Indian people did not like this thing. If you talk about the economy, so all we know that Britishers colonized India just for the sake of making money, to make margins. They used to sell very cheap products that they brought from England along with them in India, and they say in India they are cheap products at higher price in order to make money. Even Indians were denied to purchase or use the things made in India by Indian people. So such kind of exploitation was there. So we can say in pre-independence era there was exploitation, economic exploitation, social exploitation, religious exploitation. Even they tried to, some missionaries were very active during that time. They were constantly working to convert Indian people, Hindu people into Christianity, right? So this was the milieu of India cycle. And if we talk social milieu, political, and if we talk about the political milieu, the ruling power was the time of Britishers, and they inflicted punishment on Indian people without any reason, So in that means during that time, these writers whose text we are going to take up in this paper, they dared to write in the language except their mother tongue. They chose to write in English language. That was the language of foreigners or ruling power in India. And even during if we talk about the education in India that time, hardly few people knew how to read. Only few people were educated at that time, right? Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, Chattopadhyay and Surendranath Banerjee. We must know, we should not forget names of some renowned reformers who constantly working for the upliftment of the society, Indian society, right? Even Surendranath Chatterjee and Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Macaulay. Yes. Such people were also very concerned with the education of Indians. Even Britishers, they wanted to get some clerks at a cheap price. So just with this purpose, they made compulsory English in schools. They replaced Hindi medium with the English medium so that they could get clerks on cheap salaries, cheap wages. And some Indian reformers also supported them because they thought that if Indian people could read or could learn English language, only then Indian people would learn Britishers' history, and it would help them, it would help Indian people to get independence from the clutches of Britishers. So there were, many opinions, and such kind of milieu was there before pre-independence of India. So in that situation, these people, they dare to write in English language, knowing very, very well that hardly few people would read their writings. Whatever they were writing in English, even that time, Indian people did not know how to read Hindi. So, there was just elite class who could read in Hindi or English language. So in that situation, these people accepted the challenge to write in English to prove them that they are equally intelligent as Britishers or other foreigners. They accepted this challenge. They proved themselves very well that they are not less than foreigners or English people in any field. Are you getting it? What I'm trying to explain you?
Yes, ma'am.
So they faced a lot of problems. Number one, if they write in English, who will read their writings? This was the main problem that was faced by English writers, Indian English writers who were taking to write in English. Next point, if they write in English, or they plan to write in English, so would it be possible for them to express all the feelings in foreign language? This was another problem that they faced. So are you getting it? What I'm explaining?
Yes,
what was the social, political, religious milieu in which these writers, they planned or they wrote in English?
Yes, ma'am.
And if we talk about Untouchable, so we should know that Mulraj Anand, who belongs to, a well-off family, that time he was in abroad when he decided to write Untouchable. The idea of writing Untouchable came in Mulraj Anand's mind when he was abroad. So he started writing this novel as the mostly English writer, used to write novels that time. Okay, so in the beginning, this novel written by Mulraj Anand, this novel was very, very bulky. But he decided to come to India and to discuss the plot, story, and the way of writing this novel with Mahatma Gandhi. So with this idea, Mulraj Anand came to Gujarat at Mahatma Gandhi's ashram, located at Sabarmati. So in his ashram, he spent around more than 1 month, and daily he discussed how he should write. First of all, he gave the title as The Untouchable. But on the advice of Mahatma Gandhi, he not only removed the article the from the title of this novel, but also he cut down around 1/3 of the novel on the advice of Mahatma Gandhi. As Mahatma Gandhi advised him that he had written this novel just like English writers write novel. So if Mulraj Anand, he would have written this novel in the way of English writers, so the beauty of or we can say the sensibility or sense, beauty, all these things would have been removed from this novel. So whatever the form now, the present form of this novel is just because of Mahatma Gandhi's advice to Mulraj Anand. Are you getting it? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm getting it, ma'am. May I ask you something?
Sure.
Ma'am, what was the inspiration for writing Untouchable? As one writes when he sees something, then an inspiration comes. So accordingly, I'm asking this question. And what was the inspiration for writing this novel?
In fact, Mulraj Anand, he was touched with the critical pain of downtrodden people. He had already written a novel titled Kuli. Okay. So, if we go through the works of Mulraj Anand, we will find very, very easily that this novelist was concerned with the plight of outcast people or downtrodden people. So, first he wrote Kuli, and then he made his mind to pen down this novel in which he could easily explain the plight of a scavenger boy who used to clean latrines. Scavenger were the people who used to clean latrines made by Britishers that time with their hands only. Okay? So what kind of life they used to live? So the whole story is based on is based on this thing. So we can say our novelist is concerned with the miseries, problems of unprivileged class in the society. And not only he wanted to highlight only the problems, just he wanted to eradicate this social evil from the society. With this purpose, he wrote these novels in order to attract the attention of all the people, in order to make other people concerned, in order to, this novel also draws the concerns of all human beings. What this life means, what kind of life such people are leading, and how these people are treated by upper class people or other people. So he also, Mulraj Anand also suggests some solutions in this novel. So he was not only concerned with the description of predicament of outcast people, downtrodden people, unprivileged people, but he was also concerned with the upliftment of these people, welfare of these people. That's why through his novel, he has suggested 3 solutions. The students who have gone through at least the summary of this novel, now they know that what are these 3 solutions. So, now come to the story. Story of this novel revolves around the main protagonist named Bhaka, who belongs to outcast people. Here, untouchable means the people who were earlier considered as untouchable, who were outcast people, who were considered as untouchable by the upper class people. Upper class people used to consider these people as, just like a block on the society, a stigma on the society. So, such people means outcast people or untouchable people. In fact, we all know that it was a social evil earlier. So, in order to highlight, in order to eradicate this social evil from the society, our writer, Mulraj Anand, novelist, he has written this novel. Earlier, what happens in this novel? Through this novel, we come to know that untouchable people is just like scavenger people or coolies and other, such type of people. For them, different quarters, means if we talk about earlier time, in this paper MEG, we will come to know that for outcast people, untouchable people or lower class people, some quarters were made just at the outskirts of the village. Even they were not allowed to buy property in the village where upper class people, privileged people used to live. Means they were considered as, outcasts, so they were not allowed even to enter the village. Just on some occasions, they would come to, take some donations from people, just to come to, beg donations from people. And what kind of donation? Leftover foods, or some peaceful of drinks like this. So, here in this novel, we find that such people, just like unprivileged people or scavenger, Bhaka, our protagonist in this novel, such kind of people used to alarm other people whenever they used to, walk on public place. They had to alarm other people by announcing that untouchable is coming. I am coming on the road. I am untouchable. So be alert that the untouchable people are moving on the road. Means it was their duty. It was their duty to alarm other people that they are on the road or they are moving from, they are moving through this lane or that lane. Okay. So such was the plot. And in the beginning, we see that Bhaka was woken up by his father by calling him, by some abuses. His father abuses him in the beginning in order to wake him up. And in order to make him wake up in the beginning, and in place of his father wants him to go to town in order to clean the latrines with his own hand. And it was, we can say, injustice or kind of punishment that was inflicted on some downtrodden people during we can say when India was colonized or ruled by Britishers. So Britishers forced Indian people or downtrodden people to clean their latrines with their hands, and also forced Indian peoples to carry their human strata on their heads. So it's very, very shameful. But these people or outcast people, they had no alternative. It was their livelihood, we can say, that they had to work according to the wishes of British people. Are you getting it? What I'm trying to say? These Indian people, downtrodden people, had to carry over their head latrines, human strata of Britishers on their head. used to clean their latrines with their own hands. So such kind of life these downtrodden people they used to live. Means they were first of all exploited by British people economically, because they sometimes they did not pay even a single penny to downtrodden. Secondly, these downtrodden people were exploited socially, religiously by their own people, by people of their own countries, but who was superior, who were privileged people, who means upper class people, who were exploited by upper class people of their own country. So they were exploited by Britishers as well as by Indian people, superior class. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
The students who have gone through at least the summary of this novel, now they can tell the names of some characters. Baka is the main protagonist. What's the name of his younger sister?
Sohini.
Yes?
Sohini, ma'am.
Mohini is the name of his
Sohini.
younger sister. I'm asking about his brother's name. Baka's brother and father's name.
Baka's brother's name was Raka and father's name was Laka.
Brother's name, Raka. Father's name?
Laka, ma'am. Laka.
Laka. Yes, Laka. And there is another character, Gulabo.
She's a washerman woman.
Lady, awesome lady.
Washerman wife, ma'am. She's Gulab.
Yes. 1 second. 1 second.
Hello, ma'am.
She might be busy on a call. Just hold on for 5-10 minutes, okay?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
And who is Ramesh? Chotu?
हाँ बेटा.
Ma'am, send off Baka.
Yes.
मेरी क्लास में.
And Havaldar?
A hockey player.
Yes, beta.
चलो बेटा पूरा कौन सा है?
Hockey player, right. And the missionary man and his wife? Tangawala?
Ma'am, the Tangawala came to rescue him from the people who were scolding Baka.
So here in this novel, we find some characters who belongs to different religion, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now here we are talking about kings. I'm not going to discuss the summary, as I already advised you that it's your duty to go through summary.
Now, how we have to write answer if asked about the writer?
I will tell you later, but first of all, let me cover all these things that I want to discuss with you.
Okay, ma'am.
Now we are going to discuss kings. Okay, so how can we explore kings? Okay, so now I am telling you this technique how to explore kings. So in this novel, we find characters who belong to three different religions. Tangawala belongs to Islam.
Muslim.
Yes, he was Muslim, so he belongs to Islam. And missionary man, Christianity. And main protagonist belongs and Kaliram. Hariram or Kaliram?
Kalicharan. Kalicharan.
Who tries to molest Mohini Sohini?
Kalicharan, I think.
Kalicharan, I think. Okay. So, third religion in this novel is mentioned as Hinduism. So, Islam, Christianity, and Hindu. So, these three are what? Religion. So, we can say that religion is one of major themes of this novel, right? So, in this way, we can explore. This is the theme. Okay, next. Here, how can we say what are the other themes? We know that our main protagonist, he belongs to outcast, downtrodden class, but still he has habit to wear clean clothes. right? Or he tries to, keep himself clean, cleanliness. Okay, cleanliness. You can also relate this scheme with the cleaning of latrines. Cleanliness. Next important thing, our protagonist tries to educate himself. He tries to speak, just like British Babu or British people speak Hindi. So we can say that he has some desire in his mind to look like a gentleman. Gentlemanliness, we can say. Okay. If we think about Gulabo,
Who are you saying? Sorry, I missed. Who want to be a gentleman?
gentlemanliness. You can relate this theme with our main protagonist. Next, if we think about Gulabo and the wife of missionary man, so we find some common point. Both of these two ladies are very, very awesome, right? So quarrel is also minor theme we find here. Next, hypocrisy, we can say. Hypocrisy. How can we say hypocrisy? We can relate hypocrisy, this theme, with the incident when Pandit, or we can say the priest, Kalicharan, what's the name? Kalicharan?
No, Kalinath.
Yes?
Kalinath.
So Kalinath publicly, upper class people, since he belongs to upper class, so upper class people publicly, they don't want to touch untouchable people, right? They consider outrodden as untouchable. Even they did not prefer to visit their house or even to touch them or to take anything from their hands. So this was the attitude of upper class people during that time. But, one second, beta. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
This was the attitude of upper class people towards lower class people. Right? But this man did not hesitate to molest downtrodden girl, the girl who belongs to downtrodden class. So it shows what? It shows hypocrisy. Right? Hypocrisy, with this theme you can also relate the scene when the protagonist tries to eat jalebi. 1 second. Hello, so in this way, you should try to explore themes. You have to focus on theme and try to understand actually what the writer is trying to say through this minor or major incident or this major or minor theme. Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. May I add one more?
Yes, sure.
Ma'am, it is caste hierarchy.
Speak loudly, Vega.
Ma'am, it is caste hierarchy.
Yes. Next, if we think about the character Havaldar, what comes in your mind? He likes our protagonist. He also gives him hockey, right? He has some disease also, piles, right? So now, one by one, you have to think over characters. You have to think over some scenes, and you have to relate these scenes with the themes. Untouchability. Untouchability is the major theme of this novel. untouchable. Our protagonist is untouchable. Whatever he faces in life, what kind of life is being led by him. Here, our writer, novelist, shows everything in detail. So, untouchability is major theme of this novel. Now, think about other characters. Sohini is a very beautiful, innocent girl, right? If we think about Gulabo and Sohini, and how means Gulabo feels jealous of Sohini's beauty. So beauty is also minor theme. Jealousy is also minor theme. If we talk about these characters and the kind of relationship between these two characters, so we will be able to explore more and more themes. Okay. So now, in this way, you should know how to explore themes.
Atrocity.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if you try to explore themes, the students who have gone through the summary, it's a kind of exercise that we are doing in this class. Now, we are learning how to explore themes and how to connect themes with some incidents or with some characters. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
Now, think over it. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, it's directly, the theme is basically related to social evil, means untouchability of the superior or privileged classes of the society. It attacks inner conscience of human beings to eradicate this social evil from the caste-ridden Hindu society by adopting sympathetic attitude toward them and giving untouchables the right of equality so that they can consider themselves as common people. It also calls conscience of untouchable to combat with such a society with courage in order to live a respectable life. In other words, pariahs means outcasts. So, in other words, pariahs, humiliated people or society must be determined to attain respect from privileged class. So, if we talk about its title, we can say that directly title is related to the protagonist of this novel, Ms. Bhaka, who belongs to the lowest strata of the society. In fact, he represents the miseries, helplessness, and shows life led by outcast people, depressed people, and deprived classes of the society due to the exploitation by the superior classes in every society. Now, we are going to discuss plot and structure. What is plot? Plot is a sequence of major themes that are taken place in a novel or in a story. So, if we talk about the plot, we can say that, in fact, this novel lacks story, but the novelist has a strong reason to narrate it. He wants to make us familiar with the predicament of untouchable and also wants to make us see their life from psychological, social, economic, and moral point of view. And all these aspects of untouchable's life shown by the novelist provide structural unity to the plot. The novelist mixes in his novel Western tradition of writing fiction with the long established tradition of untouchability in Hindu society. This novel has a unity of action, pace, and time. Just like all the good novels have unity of action, pace, and time, this novel has also unity of all these three things. So how can we say that this novel has unity of action, pace, and time? Now you can note it down. It tells about the events, means this novel tells about the events taking place in a single day of Bhaka's life, who belongs to the lowest strata of the society in the caste-ridden Hindu society. This is the place. The place is what? The place is Hindu society. Okay, caste-ridden Hindu society is the place. And time is what? Time is only one single day. All the incidents in this novel, actually, these incidents are taken place in the life of Bhaka, who is the protagonist in his life in a single day. So before independence of India, this is time. So we can say that this novel has unity of place, time, and action. All the actions, all the incidents are actions. Okay. Place is caste-ridden Hindu society, and time is pre-independence era. Okay, before independence of India.
Ma'am, can I ask something?
1 second. Let me finish this thing then. So its plot is very simple and experimental. The novelist has employed stream of consciousness. These are some techniques, you can note it down. The novelist has employed stream of consciousness, monologues, and flashback technique. He covers all aspects of an untouchable's life or hero's life within 24 hours of his life. All these things make its plot well structured. Then, in the ending, our novelist suggests 3 solutions for the eradication of this social evil, untouchability. So, what are these 3 solutions? You must know. The first solution is through conversion to Christianity. It is suggested in this novel. The downtrodden people, outcast people, pariah people, if they want to get rid of this, this type of life, they can easily convert themselves into Christianity. They can adopt Christianity as their religion, because in Christianity there is rule of equality. All people are considered as equal. There is no system of untouchability or such kind of evils are not in Christianity. So through conversion to Christianity, as according to Christianity and Christ, all human beings are equal. There is no space for untouchability in this world. Second solution is by abandoning bad habits. As in this novel, we see that pariah people, downtrodden people, they have bad habits. Bad habits of, just like drinking alcohol or accepting leftover foods from their owner's house in place of money or fresh grains. They work in other people's home, and as wages, their master used to give them leftover food. So it is suggested by the writer or Mahatma Gandhi that such downtrodden people, they must not accept leftover food as their wages. In place of leftover food, they must demand fresh grain. Okay. And these people, downtrodden people or pariah people, they must shun their bad habits. They must abandon drinking, eating meat, and accepting leftover food from their owner's house. In place of it, they should demand food grains as their wages or salary. And the third solution in this novel is suggested by Bashir and Sarasha. 1 second. Hello. So third solution is suggested by Bashir and Sarasha. So they plead for flush system. As we know that in this novel, our hero Bhaka is a scavenger who cleans latrine with his own hand. So here Bashir and Sarasha plead for flush system through which job of cleaning of latrines is handled by machines. So these are 3 solutions that can be adopted by people to eradicate untouchability from the society. Now we are going to discuss narrative technique. So Mulraj Anand has adopted timeless narration of eternity. You can note it down. Our novelist has adopted timeless narration of eternity or open-endedness. Open-endedness, here we can say the timeless narration of eternity. It means you can relate the story of this novel with any age, with any era, with any time. Okay. And open-endedness. Open-endedness is another technique that is employed by writers that suggests multiple questions. Once the story is over, this technique suggests multiple questions and give birth to the doubts after the complete and thorough reading of the text. So this technique compels us to ponder over the questions raised by the novelist through this novel. So now today we have finished this novel Untouchable, written by Mulraj Anand. Yes, anyone wants to ask anything? I think the girl was trying to ask me something. Now she can ask me. Hello. Okay. Next week, means next Saturday, we will take up Ankapura. Okay? So, I want to advise you that when you attend my class next week, before that, you must go through at least summary and character sketch, characters of this novel.